Hi there. It's January 1st, 5:35 a.m. 2025. I just recorded like a 2.5 minute long intro where I was just rambling, being really weird. Here's all you need to know. I had this cool lighting and this cool just little scene, and I had that dopamine kick to make a YouTube video. So that's what we're going to do. I don't know what it's going to be about, but it's going to be a video. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so I was scrolling through YouTube and VR stuff, procrastinating on the video that I said I was going to do today. Anyway, I came across this thrill seeker video that I saw months ago that was about the largest unsolved problem in VR. And the basic, at least biggest premise that I took was, in the best design, the human is never wrong, i.e. your user, right, should be able to easily understand and interact with whatever you create, whatever you've made for them. And that the design itself should not get in the way of what they expect or what they're trying to do. And then I went back and said, okay, we're going to think back about racing. And don't get me wrong, I am relatively new to sim racing, right? Past couple months. But in that time, in the past month and a half, the huge debate talk everyone on the scene has been around iRacing and LMU, and then it blew up in everyone. And if you've somehow been living under a rock, the basic storyline of it went like this. iRacing goes, hey everyone, we have a new Ferrari prototype and marbles, which is like little dirt and it gets on the track and it makes it slippery. Marbles, okay? Everyone goes, oh, this is sick. It's gonna be awesome. iRacing's the best sim ever. And then an LMU dev little sneaks out of the corner and goes, actually, they are doing this to farm monies, and they are inaccurate, and they should focus on making a better sim. Paraphrasing, right? Whatever. So then the sides split. You have your people on the LMU side saying, yeah, they're right. They've, it's way too much money to have such a poor product. iRacing sucks. And then you have the iRacing fanboys saying, no, iRacing's the best. It's a better product. Y'all are just jealous not enough people play LMU. Again, I've never played LMU. I barely even played iRacing for a couple months. I don't care about any of this, okay? Okay. But then everyone actually starts looking, and they go, hang on. LMU guy, you're onto something. Because I just did a lap around Spa, and on qualifying deployment, on max prototype deployment, I went 3 to 5 seconds faster than balanced deployment, or no deployment. That doesn't exactly feel right. I don't think that's accurate. And then the next week, everyone looks and they go, oh, LMU, you got GT3s. That's cool. Oh, your force feedback is completely broken and it's a waste? I guess we're both just chasing new features. Everyone unites around everything sucks and sim racing sucks. And then I start hearing all the comparisons. Again, games that I really don't know a ton about, but it's like, oh, iRacing is the best for multiplayer, but only if you like racing on ice in sleds. And oh, LMU is the most accurate current sim, as long as you only want to race prototype cars and maybe GT3 sometimes. And maybe force feedback will work today. And then, some people whisper about like that relic and like this guy that won't die. Whatever. Okay? And I'm like, okay, everyone shut up. Calm down. What should it look like? Like if everyone got what they wanted, we're like, this is it. This is the sim to save all sims. Well, what is it? What would it be? What would it look like? Well, going back to our design theory, right? The user, the driver, is never wrong. It shouldn't get in the way of what they expect it to be. Okay. So ideally then, it should just feel like real life, right? To avoid the game getting in the way of what you expect to feel, It should be as realistic as possible, 1-to-1, game to road. Right? Okay. So think back to the last time you've driven a car, right? You hit a bump, or if you're lucky enough to track a car or even race, you lucky duck, freaking send me money so I can do that. When you feel something in the road, a little bump, a little divot, a little camber one way, do you feel it mostly in the wheel turning? Or do you feel it in your body, in the G-forces, in your butt feel? I'm not here to say everyone should have a motion rig. It should be set up phenomenally. Put $50,000 into sim racing or you're broke. Right? I can't do that. What am I going to say? What I am saying is, we can't exactly just chase 1-to-1 how it realistically drives, because then the amount of information that you'd be receiving in your wheel would be practically nothing. I mean, you'd get some, but nowhere near enough to be anywhere competitive or fun, I'd say, in sim racing, right? And in contrast to what you feel actually driving on a road in an actual car every day, modern cars, okay? Don't quote some, well, my 1973 Chevelle doesn't... Calm down. All right? Modern cars, power steering, suspension, right? Okay. In popular sims, even with motion rigs, right? Even if you hook up all your fancy doodads, you're gonna feel a lot in your hands. Way more, arguably, than you would driving it in real life in that same car. Okay? Except for Assetto Corsa, you're kind of the strange, but sort of actually accurate in this scenario stepchild. And before you come lighting your torches at me saying, oh, that's not true and this is, you know, accurate, this is my game and I love it to death, I'm not saying go kill all the force feedback on wheels, make it super accurate and make it absolutely just numb to the touch. Terrible idea. Again, we wouldn't be able to actually race each other and have fun if we didn't have that feedback in our hands to do so. I'm just pointing out that sometimes the end user experience is a little more important than perfect 1-to-1 driving. Okay? So instead of taking every waking moment that we have, stalking patch notes, finding a hint of fake game design in the files, my personal opinion here, developers and drivers maybe should turn more to the driver's experience in getting the least in the way of that human interaction. So maybe more like, you know, getting good and representative, again, not 1-to-1 accurate, but representative feedback where available, i.e. our wheel, maybe active pedals now. Those are kind of cool. Do servers function at an acceptable state to where it's comfortably drivable and it works? Do cars drive competitively and accurately amongst each other in a race? Again, it doesn't have to be, you know, the Ferrari prototype at Spa in real life does this lap time. And in iRacing it does this lap time. And in LMU it does that lap time. And in this it does that. It doesn't have to do that. Just amongst themselves, do they race well? And then a bit of a controversial one. I'm not the first one to say this, but is it just too hard? Are Sims too focused on, we're gonna make it so difficult and so real that it's gonna be super hard? And I'm far from the first one to bring this up. And I love iRacing because they get flagged for this a lot now. But hard does not mean accurate, right? Creating a model that makes you drive a certain way that is an admittedly really high skill ceiling. It's really, really hard to do. You have to be very delicate, right? Very precise with your inputs. But is that getting in the way of just what you expect sitting down human interaction, right? So before I leave you all to go stone me in the comments, kill me, go get out of our, beloved sim racing hallowed church. We'll just say this. I'm not making this video to say it's a lost cause. Sim racing games are dead, right? All devs suck. I'm fully excited and supported for everything coming out. Again, as someone fairly new to the scene, I just like racing cars and seeing new stuff. It's pretty cool and fun. And when I do this and I expect it to do that and it does it, it's really cool. Except AC Evo, you broke my heart. You took away multiplayer. I was so freaking looking forward to that. Anyway. Getting off rant, right? This is already a long enough rant. This is a 12-minute rant. Seriously though, okay? Next time I'm looking at you. Next time you sit down to write a novel about how Joe Schmo is animalistic for liking a sim that you don't deem accurate enough, let's just pause to consider what the experience, right? And how that interaction is. If game is getting either too far in the way or not providing enough to provide a good experience and a good driving and racing, because that's at the end of the day what we're all here for, right? Anyway, I'll shut my mouth. Thanks for listening to my rant, my TED talk. Sorry about that. Roast me in the comments now. Have fun. Have a good day. Happy New Year. And until my next rant, or whatever else I do, goodbye for now.